Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
Breaking news out of Moorhead this evening. Firefighters are on the scene of a house fire near 10th Street and 11th Avenue South. The call came in about 45 minutes ago, and the fire appears to be out, but smoke can still be seen coming from the roof. Valley News Team's Giovanna Simic is on the scene with the latest. Giovanna, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Christine. I can tell you that the scene has calmed down here a bit. It's not as smoky as it was when I first came, but take a look at this. There are firefighters on the roof. They are cutting in a hole for the house to get in some ventilation, Neighbors, they're still over here wondering what's going on. Some came from blocks down, some came who lived next door. I did have a neighbor tell me that in this particular house, this was the second fire that has happened. Police still have not given us any information, so stick with Valley News Live, and I will have more information for you as it becomes available. For now, reporting in Moorhead, Giovanna Simic, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks so much, Giovanna. Now continue to stick with us for updates, as Giovanna said, on this breaking story on valleynewslive.com. Property crimes like garage and car break-ins are the #1 crime in Fargo, according to police, and they're crimes that can be prevented. Fargo police advise people to lock up their cars and take it a step further by securing their garage. Police say over the last month there have been a number of garage burglaries as well as thefts from cars in the Westgate and Prairie Woods neighborhoods near Cashwise. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop shows us how easy it is to protect yourself by hardening your garage locks.
You might think you're protecting yourself by closing your garage door, but Fargo police say thieves still can get in. And the simplest thing that you can do to protect yourself involves a hammer or a drill.
Nowadays, there's keyless entry pads, or there are actual key opening garages for the doors on the outside where they can pull or pry those off, connect the wires, and they get in.
So that is why they suggest hardening your lock.
And this is what they're hoping, like, see how long this is from where your connection is here to open it from the inside. If they are to prop that out, they can pull this all the way out and connect it.
We decided to see how easy and quick it was to do with the help from Officer Schindlerbeck. You take a screw or nail and place it near the wire close to where the keypad or keyhole is. Then you twist the extra wire around the nail or screw.
So wrap it around and get it tight as much as you can.
A nut or washer can be added as extra support, and the whole thing took less than 5 minutes. Schindeldecker says people living in both apartments and homes should check their garages.
It's always good for you to, especially when you're moving into a new apartment complex or condo, to double check and see if they have hardened it. If not, talk to the property management and they might do it for you.
Fargo police say garage and car break-ins happen all over the city during the day and night. In Fargo, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
Fargo police encourage people to use the social media app Nextdoor even more than Facebook and Twitter because they can target specific neighborhoods with important updates. Up to 28 people are reported dead and at least another 60 are wounded after 2 reported suicide bomber blasts rocked Istanbul's Ataturk airport. Initial reports out of Istanbul say 2 suicide bombers opened fire before detonating their explosive inside that airport. Police are said to have fired shots at the 2 attackers just before they reached a security checkpoint in the arrivals area, but were not successful in stopping them before the 2 men blew themselves up. Ataturk is Turkey's largest airport and a major transportation hub for international travelers. Hillary Clinton's testimony before the House Select Committee on Benghazi became a national spectacle last fall. Now, 7 months later, the committee is releasing its final report on the events surrounding the 2012 attack on the U.S. diplomatic outpost in Benghazi. 4 Americans were killed, including the U.S. ambassador. As our Washington Bureau's Peter Zampa reports, only Republicans participated in the drafting of this report.
This was a failure at the most senior levels of our government.
After more than 2 years of hearings, backroom questioning, and verbal assaults,
Republicans are squandering millions of taxpayer dollars.
The Republican majority of the House Select Committee on Benghazi released its report Tuesday. Supplementing the 802-page document, Kansas Congressman Mike Pompeo filed an additional 40 pages, explaining why the events in Benghazi took place.
That night, we let America down. The American government let those folks down. They put politics ahead of those people, and that just shouldn't happen in America.
Pompeo and his Republican colleagues continued to lay blame on the Obama administration Tuesday, saying it never tried to save the lives in Benghazi, even though many say the Defense Department couldn't have done anything differently.
Pompeo called former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's response to the attacks morally reprehensible. Clinton responded saying, quote, "It's pretty clear it's time to move on."
Democratic committee members released a separate report on Monday. They say they asked Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy to work together on a joint report, but Gowdy refused.
I think that just really reflects the underlying partisan dynamics of this investigation specifically, and more broadly of what sort of currently characterizes Capitol Hill.
Molly Reynolds is a fellow at the Brookings Institution. She thinks releasing an 800-page report and telling the American people to draw their own conclusions is an effort to hide a lack of new information.
My guess is that's a little bit of a deflection in a way to keep the issue on the table as a potential partisan issue in the coming campaign.
All committee members now have a chance to review the report before it's officially submitted to the House.
In Washington, Peter Zampa, Valley News Live.
Congressman Pompeo did say he thinks the American people should read the Republican and Democratic reports. He says the more information people read, the better. The search is over for the driver of an SUV involved in a hit and run earlier this morning. Investigators in Grand Forks say a Chevy pickup was driving eastbound on Gateway Drive at the 42nd Street intersection. That's when the westbound SUV turned to go southbound on 42nd Street, hit the pickup, then sped off. Police now say the driver of the white SUV has been located. He's a juvenile and formal charges are pending. The SUV has extensive damage to the driver's side front end. Yesterday, we told you about a Fargo mom who's trying to get her son's bike back after it was stolen. Security cameras caught young boys committing the crime last Saturday. The boys in the video have been identified, and one has confessed to taking the bike. Arlene Bushman gave the boys one more chance to bring back her son's bicycle, but they didn't come through. She says she's turning over all the evidence she has to the police.
He could have just gave it back, and it wouldn't have came to this, but I'm not willing to just let this happen. It's just going to keep happening and keep happening, and I shouldn't, have to be scared of leaving these bikes around.
Bushman says police have told her kids they could be charged with the theft of personal property along with being in possession of stolen property. Sunny and quiet, a nice, easy day, and maybe tonight is the same. Let's find out from meteorologist Robert Hahn in First Weather. Robert?
Yeah, very nice day across the region after a chilly start with temperatures mostly in the 40s. Got down to 39 over in the Bemidji area, but with lots of sunshine, and we rebounded nicely. Most areas now into the 70s, 80, however, down in Sisseton. Not too far from that, 79 here in the Fargo-Moorhead area. We did briefly touch 80 earlier. Winds calm to very light across much of the region. Pretty much what we've seen throughout the day today. A few occasional stronger gusts not out of the question. Just a few clouds out there, and we'll see some high, thin cirrus clouds streaming through from time to time as we head through the overnight hours. Underneath what few clouds we do have, no precipitation, none anticipated tonight. However, as we head through the day tomorrow, we will start to see that chance for some showers and storms. But no chance for showers and storms as we head through the rest of the evening here in Fargo. Temperatures in the upper 70s at 7, mid 70s at 8, some low 70s at 9. Tomorrow, again, that risk for some showers and storms. More storm chance to talk about on the holiday weekend forecast, and we'll detail all of that coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Robert. Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton appointed Ann McKeague to the Minnesota Supreme Court today. She is the first Native American in Minnesota appointed to the High Court, and her appointment gives the court a female majority. Dayton called McKeague the best qualified candidates for the job.
Today is a historic day, not only for myself and for my family, but for all Native people. It underscores the importance of one person leading so that another can follow.
McKeague is replacing Justice Christopher Deitzen, who is retiring from the court. Crookston is launching its new campaign to promote tourism and business startups. Crookston tomorrow will combine technology, grant money, and the scenic beauty of the Red Lake River to lure visitors and new businesses to town. It calls for enhancing public access to the Red Lake River with several more fishing piers and trails connecting it all over town. Plus grant money to enhance new and existing businesses and $35,000 to market the city.
It's a short drive to Greater Grand Forks, hoping to get some of that crowd over here to take a look around.
Oh, absolutely. We have 60,000 people just sitting to the west of us with a really simple, quick drive, and we'd like them to come over and explore Crookston and everything we have going on.
Crookston city leaders will be firming up their marketing plan and strategies over the coming weeks. There were plenty of grass skirts and flower leis in South Fargo this afternoon for a luau lunch. It's the 4th annual Go Hawaiian for Hospice event. Baked potatoes, pig roast, and live music were enjoyed by hundreds of people who also helped raise money for the hospice of the Red River Valley. Volunteers say it's not just the person who you lose who they help, but the entire family.
Sometimes I don't think people realize how much they grieve for a family member, so they're there for you for that as well. So it doesn't just end when they leave the door. They continue to want to help you and have a lot of materials to help you.
With the help of Choice Financial, more than $106,000 was raised for the hospice of the Red River Valley.